What's up, guys? It's Brittany back with all things marketing and fitness and everything in between. This is going to be a super short podcast today. I just wanted to break down some Instagram insights and define them for you, go through what they mean. I posted the podcast last week or so that was talking about how to land sponsorships and advertising for your social media platforms. And one of the key steps in there was knowing your brand, your business, and part of that is knowing your insights. And as I was going back and listening to it, I realized some people might not know, one, what the Instagram insights are or how to find it, but more importantly, that what all the insights are and what they mean, because there's a lot of different verbiage out there. And I'm going to go through with you today and break it down and define those with you and tell you all what they mean. So let's go ahead and hop right into it. First thing that I want to do is let you know how to find these Instagram insights on your own. So if you are a business page, which if you're somebody who's trying to be a blogger or have your own business or really grow your brand, I highly recommend you turn your Instagram from a personal page to a business page. So this is super easy to do. You can just go in your settings, and then there's actually at the bottom, it talks about your account. There's one thing that says account, and at the very bottom, once you click account, it's going to take you to a new little swipe over. And at the bottom, it says switch to personal account or switch to business account. So all you would have to do is go to that, go to settings and click on account. Once this page pops up, go to the bottom in blue, it says switch to business account, and you just click on that. A little pop-up is going to come up and say switching to a business account means contact buttons and category information will appear on your profile. And it talks about how if you are a business account, you don't get special inbox tools and creator insights. So basically that's just going to pop up so you can decide from there if you want to do it or not. Now, we are going to switch it to a business account if you want, if you think you're ready for that. Now, once you do that, that's whenever you're going to be able to go through and see all your Instagram insights. So again, this is super easy to do. Once you're on your page on your Instagram, the top 3 lines, I always call it the hamburger. It's 3 lines. It's in the top right-hand side of your Instagram page, right on the same line of where your Instagram handle is going to pop up. So looking at mine right now, it says Brittany.Rene, and then over to the far right, it has that hamburger, those 3 lines on top of each other. I'm going to click it. A little pop-up is going to come up from the bottom, and it says a few things like settings, archive, insights is the 3rd one, your activity, name tag, and so on. So what we're looking for here is insights. So I'm going to click insights, and it is going to take me to another page. I have my picture and my Instagram handle at the top, and then there's 3 little tabs that I can click on. The first one is content. So this is where I can go through and look at some of the pictures that I posted, and it also shows my stories, and I can see how many people have seen them and what some of the impressions are. The next tab over is activity. This is where it goes back down into the numbers a little bit more. And the last one on there is audience. We're going to go through and break down some of these numbers, and I'm actually going to go to that middle tab where it says activity, and it is going to pop up a lot of numbers and a couple of graphs and stuff breaking everything down. So if you're at a place where you can go through this with me, we can go through and break down these numbers together. Or if you're driving, doing something where you're not able to be on your phone, that's fine too. Maybe come back later whenever you can sit down, but go ahead and listen to it right now so that we can kind of just get through it and get these defined. So first one that we are going to talk about is impressions. Now, what impressions is the number of times your post or your story was seen. So this could be one person seeing it multiple times. This could be basically, yeah. So one person can see it multiple times. So whatever that number is, it doesn't necessarily mean that many people have seen it. It's just the number of times that post or story was seen, even if it was by one person multiple times. So that is impressions. Reach is the total number of unique users who saw it. So what this means is if your post ended up on the popular page, or maybe somebody shared your post and they saw it that way, this is unique users. So these are people that don't necessarily follow you. They're not the ones that are engaging with you every single day whenever you post. These are unique new users and potential followers. So that is what reach is. The next one moving down is engagement. And this is the number of unique users who either liked, commented, or saved the post. So whenever we talk about engagement, it's not always just likes. They also factor in the new analytics for Instagram and the algorithm. They also look at who commented and who saved the post. I'm going to break this down a little bit later in another podcast, but that's why anytime you make a post and you're wanting it to do well, do some kind of call to action. So this could be comment what your goals are for this year, or comment what you had for lunch today. And if you post a workout, you could say, hey, save this post for later. You're telling your followers to do these things. So this is going to help increase your engagement. So little tip for that. The next one we're going to talk about is views. And this is the total number of times a video or your story was viewed. And again, this could be the same person watching it multiple times. Maybe it's a workout video, or you're giving some kind of information, and the first time they watched it, they weren't in the place where they could take notes or anything. So they went back and they watched it again so that they could be a little bit more detailed in their note taking and take it in a little bit better. So that is views, the total number of times a video or story was viewed. So saves, these are all under the engagement that we talked about earlier. Saves is just the number of users who saved the post. And you're only allowed to save a post one time. So that means whatever that number is, that means that's how many people saved it. Replies is the number of messages sent via your story. So these are great to look at because whenever you're going back and looking at your story, you want to be able to see, okay, what was getting the most interaction from people? What's making people DM you and show interest in whatever it is you're talking about? If you ever get confused on your brand or what your followers want from you or what's going to help them the most, go back and look at the replies and see what people are interacting about and coming to you with questions or just saying, oh, this helped me so much. So keep up with that and who replied to the messages sent via your story. And the other one is going to be just for your stories as well. This one is exits, and it's the number of times a user skipped your story or exited while viewing it. So usually what this means is it was irrelevant to them, or maybe you were just getting on a rant. But whenever you see exits, that's what that means. It's the number of times somebody skipped your story and got out of it and didn't continue to view it. So a lot of this data, you can get your data on Instagram stories, including reach, website clicks, and more as well, and deep dive into your info about your audience, like their location, gender, and the busiest time of day whenever people are mostly on Instagram. That's all going to be on here as well for you to look at. All right, guys. Yeah. So those are some of the insights for Instagram that are going to help that. I think a lot of people know the verbiage, they've heard about it, but maybe you don't actually know what it means. So I hope this helped you out. If it did, let me know, but go check out your Instagram insights and see what all those are for you. Jot them down, keep a mental note of them, and see how you continue to grow. These numbers are really important for you to continue to build your brand, build your company. So now that you know what they are, go use them and keep an eye on them. All right, guys, hope y'all have a great day. Hope this helped you out. If it did, let me know, and I'll chat with you next week. Bye. Wow, 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 wow.